everybody. It's Alan Watkins, Technology Transformation Management. We are here, also known as TTM, to make it simple for you. But we're here continuing down the COVID with a lot of opening up in July here. And pretty excited to have Rackspace with us today. Many of you know Rackspace, but don't really know Rackspace. So, hey, Paul, welcome to the show today. How is everything?
Everything is fantastic, doing the lockdown here in Texas and powering day to day. But believe it or not, COVID has me as channel CTO busier than ever because I can't hide on airplanes anymore. So my calendar is open and my reps know that, and I'm busier than ever. And Rackspace is actually doing very well because we provide technology that helps customers through difficult times like this. So busy and busy.
So I got to ask though,
yeah,
if I'm in San Antonio, can I come do the slide right now?
No, we're not letting anyone in the building, unfortunately. So the lockdown exists. So I live 8 miles away from the office, but I haven't been in there since February.
Okay. Well, good. Well, many people know your name, the company name, but they don't really know. I don't think they know all of what Rackspace does and what we see the enterprise customers coming to you. Why don't you walk us through that journey? What's going on? And
so, I mean, a lot of folks, and I don't want to get salesy on the audience. Just a real quick level set. Rackspace, they see the name, and it implies co-location, like we compete with co-location facilities, and we're the exact opposite of colo. We provide advanced managed services in the cloud. So I want to make sure everyone's on the same page there. Design, deploy, and support of all major cloud infrastructure application options: public cloud, private cloud, physical gear, etc. But the cloud is really, it's an ambiguous term. You ask 5 people what the cloud is, you'll get 6 or 7 different answers potentially. So at Rackspace, we've got a phrase, the cloud's for everyone, but not everything.
Paul, so I just noticed, I don't believe you're sharing screen right now.
I am not. I will share my screen right now. So the cloud is for everyone, not everything. And customers feel this cloud peer pressure. We got to go to the cloud. Why? Because everyone else is. Well, that's not really a good reason to go to the cloud. So there's struggles going on out there. Perceptions of what the cloud is and isn't. Misperceptions as well. There's cultural resistance to it. There's a cultural blind fandom for it as well. So running to the cloud, doing it yourself, certainly not recommended at all. You want to work with companies that know what they're doing and can apply the right technology solution to the struggles that businesses are dealing with. So I've got some stats. I like to bring information to customers, let them know what's going on. These are the things that are driving customer purchase decisions as well as Rackspace product decisions, et cetera. So here are some issues that we see out there. This is based on a 2019 year-long survey of IT leaders, and the top issues right now. It used to be a couple of years ago, should we go to the cloud? But now it's we're there and we got issues. So the biggest issue today among business leaders is controlling the cloud spend. It's so easy to deal with or experience rogue IT or application sprawl because before the cloud, when you wanted to add IT, it was a very physical and very visible process. You had to go through procurement and get finance, et cetera, and then boxes would eventually show up on the loading dock, and you have to unbox, rack and stack, cable, install, config, blah, blah, blah. It took lots of time. Everyone saw it. It was laborious. You could put checks and balances on it. But now with the cloud, I mean, Amazon literally changed the world by opening the cloud up. And now folks like Microsoft Azure and Google are competing, Alibaba in Asia. We have our own cloud platform as well, open. So the things that businesses are dealing with today, it used to be, should we go into the cloud? If so, which cloud? Blah, blah, blah. But now the struggles are, oh my God, we're in the cloud and we need help because we've got, a loss of control, technology control, financial control, et cetera. The number one problem that businesses are dealing with in the cloud today, based on the research data from all of last year, is controlling spend. I've got more stats that back that up shortly, but controlling cloud spend is difficult because it's so easy to buy cloud. You could be dealing with a slow IT department and overworked, IT group, and you say, I need IT now for my business unit. So I've got the corporate credit card. I've got a web browser. Click, click, click. I'm an admin. I'm a DBA. I got resources at Amazon or Azure, Google, whomever. And so it's invisible and to buy IT, whereas before it used to be purchasing servers through procurement, boxes showing up on the deck, unbox them, rack them, stack them, etc. Visible, time-consuming process. Now, literally in minutes, businesses can add IT to their infrastructure all over the world. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's very, very easy to design or deploy something that is more than you need. It's not properly designed from a cost or security or performance perspective. Really create problems for yourself.
I can absolutely agree. We've done a number of reviews, and even on the private cloud, we're seeing significant cost reductions available, and really kind of tuning it in.
Yeah,
it's difficult if you're not. We're out doing this all day. We see it all the time. We know what a great deal is, know what a fair deal is, and what's required. And so definitely good to have a second set of eyes looking at what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have the right conversations with your customers about the IT that they're using. It's no longer about hardware. It's about processes and solutions, figuring out where your applications and data are and finding the best home for them. One of the big challenges businesses deal with today is also it's governance. They've deployed stuff, but they have no control, no processes in place, no tracking, and it just creates a big old mess. And never mind things like security and compliance down the slide here. So there's lots of things that businesses are struggling with, and they need our help. That's the good news, is that businesses are in the cloud. There's Amazon has over 2 million customers. Okay, everyone's in the cloud today. It's a matter of having the right conversations with the right people to figure out how sellers can help them, how our partners can help them. So by running conversations through you guys, you can then figure out how best to solve those problems. So in walking in your customer base and thinking about what they're struggling with, you got to know what they're doing. They're trying to transform. Digital transformation is the big buzzword these days. Businesses are trying to transform on their own or with help of partners. They're trying to get products out there faster. They're trying to make sure that they're agile, can adjust to competitors and market demand and crazy things like global pandemics of that sort. These things impact our businesses. You got to focus on making sure your customers are happy, because with our online ADD, people get really frustrated real quick and they find substitutes. They'll go to your competitors if your IT is not performing up to snuff, if it's not done right, it's not fast, etc. So businesses are trying to deal with all those technical challenges, but they're trying to maintain the controls of cost, making sure they're not overspending or spending on the wrong things. And then, of course, they got to be secure and compliant, which can be very, very complex. And there's a misperception that going to the cloud, I'm instantly compliant. That's never, ever the case. Compliance is a two-way road, for example, where your vendors have responsibilities, you, the customer, have responsibilities, and then there's shared responsibilities. It's not just a checkbox, I'm in the cloud, therefore I'm secure. So
yeah, I saw the interesting statistic from Microsoft, they said that the COVID-19 had forced 2 years of forward progress in the transformation, which blew. I could see it, but it blew my mind.
Yeah, it's drastic. I mean, not to be gloom and doom, but I think 2021 is going to be a very rough year for a lot of businesses. We're just at the beginning of this economic downturn and stimulus packages and businesses getting by. But a lot of the businesses of all sizes that have shut down or are experiencing 95% decreases in traffic, many of those businesses are not going to survive. And I had an epiphany a few days ago about what's going on and the impact specifically to what Rackspace does, but what our channel partners do in general. As an engineer, walk with me here. As an engineer, when is the best time to do your IT maintenance? When do we do these maintenance windows? It's Friday night at 2 a.m. or Sunday morning at 1 a.m. It's when you have low traffic. You don't make massive network changes or massive software upgrades at noon on a Wednesday, unless that's a downtime. You do these things when your traffic is down. So if you step back from a big picture with the COVID craziness, the world is in a gigantic maintenance window right now. But it's a great way for businesses to reevaluate and say, look, I've got this IT going on here. I've been using it for a long time. I think it's time for me to refactor, to redesign, to downsize, to evaluate, and figure out what my future is going to be. And then, partners like us can help these customers assess what they've got, design a new plan going forward, and get them into it while we're still in this downtime, so that when things pick back up, they're running and gunning on new technology at a lower cost for power, bandwidth, cooling, people, technology, etc. So I think this is actually a great opportunity presenting itself for a lot of companies.
It's absolutely been that way for us. Majority of our new projects that are massive are kicking off doing. We need to know where we're spending our money, what we're spending it on, and where before they were moving too fast to look at maybe an SD-WAN or some other technology integration. Now they're ready. I mean, they're really trying to look at where they can squeeze but become more agile, right?
That's right. You got to prep for the future. You got to make sure your
Yep.
business is, maybe you're running lean with less people in the future. So now outsourcing makes more sense. It's you've got to optimize your hardware. Maybe you've got 10 cabinets of servers and storage in place right now. Maybe you can whittle that down to one cabinet plus cloud somewhere. So there's a lot of options where technology can come in and help prepare businesses for the next few years that are going to be interesting no matter what happens. So these businesses are trying to transform. So what gets in the way? They've got lots of issues. They're dealing with old school applications that aren't ready to move. They've got a lack of business processes or know-how to deal with integrating cloud concepts into their business. A lot of companies, they've committed to a raised floor data center. They spent the 5, 10, 20, 50 million dollars on that, and they're going to stay in that sucker as long as they can because accounting says we've got to maximize that investment, which is really a bad way to go. Cultural resistance is huge. People just don't know or trust the cloud, or they misunderstand it, and they just lack the experience working with the cloud. You mentioned earlier, Alan, private cloud as a great alternative. The cloud is not always cheaper. That's one of the biggest misperceptions out there right now. Cloud's cheaper. Just put it in the cloud and it'll be cheap. Well, that's not the case. I've been involved in deals where evaluation showed that a private cloud solution on dedicated servers running VMware, either at customer prem or in a data center, make more sense financially and technically. So there's lots of things to consider when updating your IT. So I'm getting back control of my slides here. So I've got a concept here. I think one of the best things to talk about with customers and partners is staffing. It's easy to get focused on product sales and technology and solutions, but people make all that stuff run. And Gartner data has shown that roughly 85% of every dollar, 85 cents out of every dollar in IT spend across America is just on maintenance. It's Cisco support contracts and hardware refreshes and cooling and power and staffing. There's no money being spent on education, innovation, new technology, learning things, getting certified or getting new certifications. So without the funding, IT teams are actually getting beaten up. So they are overworked, relying on heroics far too often to get stuff done. So this starts becoming a problem from a service perspective as well as an employee retention perspective. So because businesses are just trying to keep that car going around the track, to stick with the racing analogy I've got on screen here, businesses are a car going around the NASCAR track, and occasionally they got to come into the pits and talk to IT. Well, so many businesses today, they've lost IT folks because they've been furloughed or they've been recruited away or whatever. And so small teams are being asked to do more. And so meanwhile, technology continues to change. The technical world is not going to stop and let your team catch up on the latest skills. For example, in 2018, Amazon, the king of public cloud, AWS, released 1,200 new features. In 2019, they released 2,000 more new features. So today, Amazon AWS has over 40,000 SKUs in its cloud catalog. I'm not talking retail e-commerce. I'm talking Amazon AWS. It's very, very hard to keep up. The same thing applies to Azure and Google and other folks. So IT teams are still using their old skill set, trying to solve today's problems. And so ticket queues increase, ticket trouble resolution times increase. Business unit leaders get frustrated. I need resources now. We got to release a new version of our mobile app. Or shoot, one of the Kardashians just tweeted about our product and our website's blown up right now. So we need resources now. And so they take the corporate credit card. They go to their cloud vendor of choice and buy resources. And we don't know if they did it properly, but they get it that way. So now you're losing control of your IT, of your security, of your finances. Meanwhile, IT's getting beaten up. They're working weekends. You can send in a pizza and a keg every now and then, but that doesn't scale. So they start updating their LinkedIn resume, and before you know it, hey, we lost our VMware person. We lost our cybersecurity person. They got recruited away for, pre-IPO stock options or better salary or bonuses or whatever. So these are the struggles that central IT teams are dealing with: overwork, less resources, losing people constantly, exposing companies to risk. That's something I see quite a bit. So moving forward, I want to talk about staffing a bit. I mentioned staffing being a key issue to talk to. And this one sometimes raises eyebrows. Folks will roll their eyes, but then they see the numbers and realize that it's true. So the concept of 6 FTEs, what is an FTE? In the accounting world, it's a full-time equivalent, and how companies figure out staffing levels. You can also say it's a full-time employee. It's just people. So to staff any one single function as an IT team or as a business, so that you have true 24/7 support of that particular function. It could be IT, it could be accounting, marketing, whatever. But if you want to have someone on keyboard and something crashes at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. and you need someone on staff on keyboard that can assess, troubleshoot, and resolve that right away because it's mission critical, you actually need 6 people on that function at your company. So where does that number come from? Well, all of us generally work first shift, 8 to 5 kind of concept, but we don't work 24/7. So you need 3 more folks or 2 more folks to cover all 3 shifts. But we're not working 7 days a week, so you got to have weekends covered as well. Okay, so that's 6 people to cover any one function. So you got a cloud expert here in the middle of the screen. Well, that person is not going to cover you for 7 days, 24/7. So you got to have 5 more. So a team of 6 is ideal. And really, it's supposed to be 7 because you need another person that can float for when folks are out sick or traveling on business or in training classes or whatever. But let's just stick with the lower number to prove the point. So you got 6 people on this IT team, but that's just 6 cloud experts. You got to add application experts, security, cybersecurity folks, database administrators, network engineers. So this is a small 5-person team. Oh, no, it's not. It's a 30-person team, and it still only covers certain aspects of your IT. So how do businesses deal with this? Well, a lot of them just don't, and they burn their employees out and they struggle. Then they make bad outsourcing decisions and based on misinformation, and then they're struggling more. You got to find the right partners that can extend your IT staff. You know, we like to help customers by extending their IT. We're not trying to replace anybody. We're trying to give them a whole bunch of new skills. We're going to attach, in our case, our 7,000 person company on the trailer hitch of that NASCAR going on the track. So when that car pulls in the pits, it's got a whole army of support out there. There's an analogy I've got here as far as the pit crew goes. When you're trying to do it yourself with a smaller than necessary team, or if you outsource with the wrong provider with a small team, when your car pulls in the pit, that person, a person hops over the fence from your IT team, that one pit crew person, and they're running around the car, changing all 4 tires, adding fuel, cleaning the windshield, adjusting fairings, talking to the driver, and eventually 4 or 5 minutes later, that car is done and goes out back on the track. But when you work with a properly staffed partner, that car pulls in the pits and an army of folks dive over the fence, and literally 8 seconds later, if not more less, that car's back in the race because we had specialists covering every one of those aspects: windshield, tires, fuel, fairings, etc. So it's not a slight to that one person pit crew. That person had the skills, but they just didn't have the resources, enough arms and legs to get the work done. And that's what a lot of central IT teams are dealing with today. So outsourcing is not meant to replace them. It's meant to save them, to lift their heads above water, to let them sleep at night, things of that sort. So that's kind of the concept on the staffing side. I think is a very, very important issue that the people in the channel need to understand the problems their customers are facing.
No, I totally agree. It's incredibly hard to get great talent nowadays.
Yeah, it's hard to track. I mean, there's a dearth of cybersecurity jobs and not enough people to fill them. And retaining people in a quality work environment is very, very difficult to do. So you got to make sure you properly motivate them, pay them, give them incentives, things of that sort.
Yeah, and what the other challenge is, kids, people don't want to come in and work at a, oil company doing this, right? They want to be innovative. They want to be part of a team. They want to have excitement, right? So you guys are far easier, AWS, Azure, Rackspace. These are great. You guys have the pick of the litter, the top engineers wanting to come to work for you versus your standard, mom and pop operation, law firm, etc.
Yeah.
It's not attractive to somebody that's trying to master a skill in an area and work alongside a team of like-minded people. So, it's very difficult for clients to attract the right talent that, in the enterprise space or, even the government.
You've got to be friendly for work from home. I mean, COVID has forced that into us now, but I don't think corporate America is going to go straight back to everyone back in their cubes. I've worked remote for the past about 5 years or so, and for me, it's great. And most folks like it, but everyone's unique. Some folks want to be in that office to be with their team. Some folks want to be in their office to be out of their house, away from their dogs and their kids. So it's not for everybody, but I think this whole past couple of quarters of work from home forced upon us is changing corporate perceptions, and it's going to be a requirement going forward. You mentioned, younger career-oriented folks don't want to work in a cube land and wear a white shirt and things of that sort. They want to sit in front of their 5 monitors at home, running their code, Kubernetes this, containers that, DevOps this, that, the other thing. They want to work from remote, and studies are showing that productivity has gone way up. So businesses have to figure out how to adapt to that, how to protect their networks and their assets from a work from home world. When you start enabling your employees to work from home, there's a lot of network risk, because before, everyone's at the office and you had your firewalls and all of your processes in place to protect your network because folks were internal. But when everyone goes home, now you're poking a whole bunch of holes in your firewall, and your VPN concentrators are getting maxed out, and you don't know what's connecting to your corporate network. I mean, my mom used to work at a call center for a major telco, and I shudder to think of what would happen to that corporate network if my mom was forced to connect her old laptop across a VPN to that corporate network, because she was the type of woman that would click on every link thinking it's true. You had malware and who knows what else on her box. So when you expose your employees, bring your own device, BYOD stuff to the corporate network, you got a lot of risk. So companies have to figure out how to protect their assets, their networks from new exposures, unauthorized users, things of that sort. So that's just one of the many work from home challenges I think a lot of companies are facing today.
Totally agree with you.
I think what else we had chat about here? Let's talk about cost. We mentioned cost. Since the numbers backing up what I've been saying earlier, the deal with cost being the top number one control. Over 3/4 of advanced cloud users in corporate America say that controlling costs is their issue, because it's so easy to buy IT. Like I said earlier, click, 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 I'm an admin. Click, 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 I'm an DEA. But RightScale also has said that roughly 30% of every cloud bill is unnecessary spend. So this means IT teams and businesses in general are wasting a lot of money. So for the sellers out there, you could walk into any business and say, hey, I bet I can help you lower your cost by 30% in the cloud. And statistically, you would be accurate, because that's what's going on right now. People are spending too much in the cloud. In the big clouds, Amazon and Azure, the data actually shows that over half of Amazon users today, AWS users today, are not taking advantage of the multiple ways that they enable customers to lower their cost via scheduled instances, reserve and spot instances, automation of turning things on and off, etc., bulk discounts and EDPs and things of that sort. And over 3/4 of Microsoft Cloud customers are not doing it. So a whole lot of folks are in the cloud and they're not taking advantage, or probably even know about the ways to lower their costs. So again, working with the right partner can help do cost assessments and get that control and lower your spend. So the more you're spending in cloud today, the more you're going to save. So that's a real concern there. I'll say that for later. So that's a real concern as far as business leaders struggling with cost. And we can also talk about security, because when you deploy stuff, people say one of the big misperceptions is the cloud's not secure. I would argue that the cloud is actually more secure than doing it yourself, because the major cloud vendors today, they are incredibly well incentivized to not have security problems. They control the infrastructure, the network, the compute stack, the storage layers, things of that sort. So they have to lock it down, just because the legal risk of not doing so is massive. So the cloud is, and any IT for that matter, is only as secure as the end users create it to be. So the perception that the cloud is not secure is hooey. It's completely false. It's about the end users. I saw a stat, 98% of all security violations and hacks in the US last year were because of human error. So that's not malicious attacks. That's people just not knowing what to do. And so again, you got to have the proper skills. Make sure your people are properly trained and certified and knowledgeable. Don't just give some new employee, oh, you're the AWS person now, go get certified. That's not how it works. You don't want to do that. You want to have experts working with you. Consulting is not a bad thing. And getting to the cloud on your own, not recommended unless you're a cloud expert to begin with. Doing it yourself is never really a good idea unless you're a big company with a big IT team and a big IT budget, and you have the skills and the processes and documentation and controls in place to do it right. I'm dealing with some electrical issues in my house right now, some plumbing issues. I try to fix some of that stuff myself. I quickly learned, no, not a good idea. Better call an electrician. That's exponentially worse in corporate America when your business revenue, your employees' jobs are all at stake. So you got to find the right partners to work with.
No, you're absolutely right. It's amazing the amount of lost opportunity and savings and management. And most of the IT guys I work with, the customers they are way overloaded with work. There's no shortage of they're not sitting around playing golf all day. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'd like to get them out a little more. So, help me through what makes Rackspace the right vendor for a customer.
Oh, gotcha. The final chapter, the plug time. So, in a nutshell, the main thing here, and this one pager up, this is my last slide. Rackspace is a 7,000 person cloud focused company. We provide managed services. So this is our 4-layer dip here. We are a multi-cloud provider, meaning we support every major public cloud provider: Azure, Microsoft Azure, Amazon, Google, Alibaba. We support all the major virtualization platforms, Hyper-V, VMware, OpenStack, and then physical servers as well. And the combination of those, that's the multi-cloud concept. Gartner says the average enterprise out there is at least 5 clouds today. So we support all these clouds. And so because we do, we can make recommendations for customers based on their needs, not what's in our shopping cart, okay? All you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Well, we have a lot of tools in our tool belt, so we can steer customers towards the right technology solution based not only on their tech, but how they're staffed, or what their industry is doing, or what business relationships they have today. So we make those recommendations for them. We've got a super deep network and security team, over 400 cybersecurity and network security engineers on staff at Rackspace. None of this stuff is offshore. It's all Rackspace. Very large data services, artificial intelligence, machine learning, database as a service, DBA time, etc. Big data analytics. We help customers maximize and leverage the data that they generate. And a very robust application support team, Oracle, PeopleSoft, SAP, Microsoft Suite, O365, etc. A whole lot more. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's all supported by a very strong application services and consulting services business. So because we have these deep benches of experts, we can come in and help customers assess what they've got going on today, design where it should be. We can then deploy that design for them. We can then migrate them into it, and then support it on day 2 going forward, while always keeping an eye on what day 3 might look like, because a digital transformation takes time. It's a 2 to 3 year process. And 3 years later, you've been through 2 cycles of Moore's technology law, and it's time to change. And we've got the depth of bench and the expertise to get customers through that journey.
No, that's fantastic. Now, we've had some great successes with you guys. I know a lot of clients that been with you guys for a number of years. So, definitely want to get our clients talking to you, your organization, but also we've got to get past this COVID, because anytime you're in Antonio, you have to check out how they converted this amazing mall.
Yeah.
And do the slide. And I almost thought I was going to bump my head. It was pretty fast and fun, I got to admit.
Yeah, it does. There's a little sharp turn at the end there. I've stopped going down because I'm getting old. But yeah, people go down it all the time. We're known for the slide. It's a really neat place to visit. We encourage folks, once this COVID stuff is done, you experience the culture of the people. You see firsthand the expertise we offer. And we're a sell with partner. We're never going to push folks out of the way. We want to solve problems for customers, figure out the best solution for them. And if they don't go with us, that's fine, as long as they make their decision based on good data. I don't mind losing in a fair fight. I do mind losing if someone goes somewhere else for stupid reasons.
Understood. Well, guys, I want to thank you for your time today, and think of some clients we'll be forwarding this over to, and definitely getting some dialogue started.
Fantastic. Looking forward to future conversations. Hopefully this data was useful. Just remember, the cloud's for everyone, but not everything. Recognize what customers are struggling with. The IT teams being beaten up, technology changing quickly, and there's a lot of misperceptions that good partners can help correct and then deploy the right solutions for customers.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Alan, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate talking to you today.
No problem.